Hello, hello! My name is Win Koshika, and my pronouns are they, them. Today, we are playing a new game that has been on my wish list for a bit, and Toon just recently happened to gift it to me without even knowing it was on my wish list. Which is crazy of him, that means he knows me pretty well. I'm excited to try it. It seems to be a text-based adventure type game. I've been trying to keep myself a little blind to it, because I've just looked at some of the, like, little gameplay clips, and, like, trailers from the Steam page. So, I'm excited to hop into this. We're just gonna hit new game. I think I adjusted the audio good enough. Maybe I'll just a little bit more. Just because I worry about it getting too loud. Okay. Ooh, okay, we're just hopping right into it. Let me adjust my mic slightly, sorry. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Roadwardens not only accept this struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and if possible, get rid of the beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. And it's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. I leave the safety of the city walls, or I still have my doubts. I'm curious. Oh, okay, no, that just... I leave the safety of the city walls. Oh, difficulty mode. Focus on the story, no time limit, more cash, some quests are more forgiving. Let's just do the standard. Familiar with RPGs, 40-day time limit, regular rule set. We don't need easy baby mode. The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. Oh. Okay. This should be the place you're looking for. You were supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away the goblins and peddlers, but not beast folk, nor trolls. And the night is near. Your palfrey breathes heavily. You had a long day. So is the palfrey our mount in this? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not sure why that didn't... Oh, wait, shit. I'm so sorry. I don't have Mix It Up opened properly. Let me fix that. I'm so sorry. I forgot to... It's open, but I forgot to hit the re-log in after I reopened it. Oh, no. Here, I'll do it so you can see what it looks like. I'm sorry. It should work next time. Hi Quill. It's nice to see you. Thank you for coming to stream. How are you? Have you been up to anything exciting? Okay, so I'm either gonna look around cautiously or dismount and sneak to the gate and peek inside. Because if there's supposed to be soldiers here and they're not here, I'm concerned. Working? Boo. Unless you like your job. But if not, boo. I hope work isn't too stressful for you. We're gonna look around cautiously. Considering the noise, you doubt that anyone noticed the clatter of hooves. The short, dry grasses barely cover the arid soil of this valley. But you're maybe a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods, which gets denser as they climb up the hills. At best, this trail has a few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's the only route north. Okay. Let's peek inside. Oh, take care of yourself. If you're hurt or exhausted, some actions won't be available. The weaker you are, the higher the chance you'll die in combat. Not too bad. Been a chill day here. That's good. I'm glad. Let me take a sip of my water. Okay. Your heavy boots hit the ground, and the pain of the long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bringing your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. Approach the gate slowly. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space, the fire pit is cold. Two people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice the quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbor. I mean, I guess let's enter. It takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. I'm gonna be off in a few, but I thought I'd drop in and say hi. Thank you, Quill. It's so nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you coming to stream. It's so cool of you. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. Okay, so the one guy is fine. He waved to us. I take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are wary, yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these two surely look the part. Though there should be more of them. 8, you believe. I'm gonna let them speak first. It's nice to see an unharmed traveler in this godforsaken shithole. Makes me just a tiny bit hopeful. The bearded man's voice is strong, yet timid. You'll be staying the night with us, I guess. We're soldiers, he and I, adds the armored woman. Her voice switches from half asleep to relaxed. We'll do our best to keep the camp safe, but if you were to take the first watch, it would be a huge help. Travelers ought to help each other, wouldn't you say? You think for a moment. To fully rest, you'd need a good sleep. I'm gonna say leave it to me. I'm not gonna, like, walk in here and then just, like, force them to take the first watch and expect things from them. That's not a good way to make connections with people. Fantastic! She rubs her hands together. I don't remember the last time I had more than half a night of sleep. The hours before midnight should be the calmest. Just wake us up if anything happens. The man flashes you a wide smile. It's easy to wake us up. Just yell. He drinks from his mug. I ask them about their lieutenant. Okay, you wonder how to phrase your question. Whenever you meet new people, you can influence how they perceive you by selecting one of the attitudes. Friendly, be supportive and cordial. Playful, use a joke or a witty comment. I'm not gonna joke, they seem to have gone through some shit. Distance, hide your emotions. Intimidating, hint at a threat. Vulnerable, be sad, tired, afraid, or hopeless. I'm gonna go friendly. Oh wait, you can... Okay, we're gonna go friendly. I was hoping to meet your lieutenant. Could we talk for a bit? The woman lets out a loud sigh, dusts off her gambeson, and steps toward you. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. We most definitely can, you and I. Though, holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? She observes you with curiosity. Or, are you looking for help? I'm your new Roadwarden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in the shirt Oh, wait. Is the soldier in the shirt the guy? Really? The soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece, all by yourself? Better bring your beast here, adds the lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause. I'm Tulia, by the way. She reaches out her hand. Tulia. Why would it be a trap? I shake her hand. How do you want people to call you? Win. I'm Win. Her grasp is confident. The shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tents. She steps away. We don't need to smell its dung. There's one issue. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. We've no tent to spare. You'll have to use a blanket or something. No problem. I enjoy observing the stars. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You can get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragonwoods from the conquests in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs you to survive, but without it, you too would be lost. It's my only companion here. I want it to feel at ease. It takes a few steps towards you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck, with strength and confidence, just the way it likes. Humans see useful animals, and even pets, as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom, but you know that horses need companionship. I speak to it gently and lead it to the camp. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back, just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than this shabby grass. You should look for an inn. I need to unpack. You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left. But maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions essential for your trade. Okay, fighter, mage, scholar. Spent my savings on decent combat equipment. I have a fine gambeson, an axe made of steel, and a reliable crossbow. I have talismans that help me use my powers, as well as an iron axe and a worn gambeson. I carry writing instruments and alchemical ingredients, as well as an iron... Oh. Oops. My alarm went off. Forgotten I had an alarm for this time. Okay. Writing instruments, alchemical ingredients, an iron axe, worn gambeson, and small healing potion. I mean, I want to learn more about the three classes. As a fighter, you'll have an easier time in physical challenges thanks to your superior equipment and hidden bonuses during dice rolls. You'll be physically more capable than the other classes. What opens unique opportunities during some social interactions is the best class for RPG beginners. Fighter's weakness is their reliance on physical strength. Your special abilities won't be available to you if your vitality points drop to 0. The mage uses Pneuma, a versatile but limited pool of energy points that can be spent to cast a few humble spells. Magic won't protect you better than a sharp axe, but as a mage you'll be able to heal faster while resting, detect magic in a mysterious area, distract a beast with a simple trick, and find a common tongue with other magic users. Using the mage's powers too freely will result in having no Pneuma left when you need it the most. The scholar will know more about the world's mysteries than you, helping you take advantage of some unusual situations. Your character will impress the locals with its knowledge, and you'll be able to read the sparse written clues without anyone's assistance. Scholars struggle with combat more than the other classes, but with enough carefulness and exploration, you'll gain access to alchemical mixtures that will help you escape from many dangerous situations. I'm definitely between the mage and the scholar. Ooh. Mage, magic is awesome. Hell yeah, okay, let's go for it. Mage. Open your inventory to see your possessions. Okay. I have armor that's like half damage. My vitality's at 3. Okay, I have 2 food rations. 5 coins. My gambeson. Magical amulet. Okay, my travel set and my simple axe. Okay. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still here. Just in case, you take a look at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. I return to the soldiers. They're at the table again, observing your beast and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at a previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. I'm off to the gym. Have a good stream. Thank you, Quill! Have a good time at the gym. Get swole. Have fun. Thank you for stopping by. I'm gonna join them and take a look at the meal. Keeping your stomach full will make you stronger. Starvation won't allow you to restore vitality while resting. You can find your supplies in the inventory. Okay, it's cold gruel, the meal eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog millet, some strange-looking cereals, and blueberries. Welcoming you with a meal, even a humble one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move from one part of the realm to another, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Roadwardens, on the other hand, learn how to work by themselves. They seldom engage in open combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help the settlement stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, forge friendships. When there are no laws to follow, they use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyles. I eat quickly, not focusing on the taste, then speak with Tulia. Nice. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I would like to, and less than I should. She nods towards the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead, 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land. Oh wait, we're also strangers in this land, adds her companion. Any piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What did the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. I'm gonna share what I consider to be relevant. I'm not super into the how, like, I don't know. I don't want to like hide things for them or be overly cautious when they've been like accommodating to me. I'm gonna share. You tell the soldiers how little guidance you've received, since this area is too far away from Hovlavan to keep under control. You were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do they turn into walking corpses or find what they've been looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? Okay, the peninsula. Any ideas what happened to the previous Roadwarden? Lost my rope. What happened to your squad? The peninsula, the Roadwarden, and the rope are the biggest. Okay, that we have to ask. What should I know about the peninsula? I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, said the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent palfrey, I guess it would be 3-4 days? When you confirm, she continues. From here, you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route allows Hovlavan The sea route allows Hovlavan officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools. But maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp, but when we travel to the roadside in Pelt of the North, they're happy to trade and to play dice. Why not just stay at one of the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, you know, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post. And, well... He turns to Tulia. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Win, but... Are you a devout soul? Ooh. If it's anything like me IRL, I'd be a pagan. Let's look at the other options first, though. Also, I need to clean my glasses. I have a giant smudge, like, right in front of my eye. Come on, glasses. Eeh. One moment. I think I accidentally touched them when I was pushing them up. Ugh. Sorry, one sec. There we go, that's better. I can see better now. Wow. It's my apple cider too. I love apple cider. It's so good. It's the best part of autumn. Okay. Like most city folk, I believe that people should unite their strength to overcome the threats of nature and dark magic. Everyone will be judged for both good and evil deeds. I'm a part of the United Church. For many years, I've supported a monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magical research. I follow the teachings of an order of truth. That sounds good, too. I'm from a small village. For me, the freedom of shell, pneuma, and soul are the main virtues of life. My community is unique and independent, and so are its members. I have a place in my fellowship. I have a strong connection to nature and spirits, and follow the path of my ancestors. Some of my beliefs may be considered sinister and treacherous by the city folk. You'd probably call me a pagan. Ooh, this might not go well with them, but this feels the most accurate to me. There's no evidence of the right's existence. All the mystical tales are explained by magic. No, I'm not. A pagan roadwarden. The man scratches his head without the slightest subtlety. Oh wait, Lieutenant. I'm sure we can have a conversation. We're civilized people. The lieutenant clears her throat. I'm from the United Church, but I'm not a priest or anything, and definitely not a zealot. An awkward pause. The United Church has spilled the blood of countless pagan tribes, making it clear that who's not with them is against them. Your family shared gruesome stories about the atrocities committed by the priests against your ancestors. Hi, Bambi! Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling well. Thank you for being here and for lurking. I appreciate it. I hope the stream is enjoyable to you and as you're resting. Okay, I'm not looking for squabbles. I'm not trying to fight with them. The people here are disquieting. Every few words, she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials. Here. She starts to draw lines with her index finger, as if she's pointing at an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan. I don't think it even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. You nod. She means a fellowship. They do crazy shit, her companion chimes in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. I see. You've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. Were you able to speak with these necromancers? You can see why we're not eager to go there if we could avoid it, the lieutenant chuckles. Maybe they'll be more welcoming to a Roadwarden. The roads are dangerous, with little to no shelters. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns a bit and points a finger to the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first, and soon. Julia nods. Pelt of the North is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeep or the guards. Ask them about the road. And how about the east? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There are hills, forests, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. Any monsters worth mentioning? Anything that could catch my mount? We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, treants, cats large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, mouflon eaters, griffins, but we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Julia glances at her companion. Though a palfrey should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting amongst themselves. They fight more for food than territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them, and ride fast. Just count on luck. Okay, that's all I need to know. So these two are the other ones that I need before I can continue. What happened to your squad? The man shrugs. Bandits happened, and monsters. A strong band, though, his companion chips in. When we got to the peninsula in spring, we saw some people living in this camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and look for an inn. We had to travel through the night for a bit. The bearded soldier scoffs and crosses his arms, but she carries on. If he had decided otherwise, we would all have died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap, and the armed ones pretend to be soldiers. Stay there at night, lose everything you have. Sounds like slave hunters. Julia sighs. Very much so. They killed some and took others away. Who knows where? They were letting the northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath. It kind of worked, added the soldier. We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own. and that's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. He wanted to get rid of them and take over the camp. But we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage among them. She looks at you. At least we cleared the road. Saves lives. You mentioned monsters as well? Nothing that would surprise you. Those of us who survived the skirmish were young, too inexperienced to spend a summer in this place without a good leader, and they didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a treant. Another one ignored my orders to perform some sort of ritual hunt, so a werebear tore her to pieces. The last one tried to act tough. Didn't tell us that he had cut his hand while cleaning his gambeson. She lets out a ghastly chuckle. We had to cut it off, and he was so ashamed that he decided to walk north, find a new life, disappear. Idiot. What a colorful journey. The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. You've made this place safer. Barely. Tulia seems tired. And who knows if it was worth the lives and effort. I think that kind of explains how you became the lieutenant. Not much of a story. There's a strict order in the city, leadership succession. Yeah, lieutenant died and she replaced them. She was the successor. Oh. No, not exactly. When we fought the bandits, our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped in to help him, but failed to protect either of them from a spell. It was like a ball of ice that hung over them and exploded, piercing their heads, completely avoiding their shield. Really unpleasant. He pauses. And you were the 3rd one in line? Basically, yeah, she says without enthusiasm. I didn't plan to become a leader, though. I'll get demoted once we return to the city. I prefer to follow anyway. What was your squad's mission? The lieutenant looks in your eyes. You know, the usual. Making the roads safe, keeping people alive. I explained that it may be important for me to know what they have tried to accomplish. I can't really tell you. Let's just say it would be nice to have a reliable outpost somewhere nearby. A place where you can always find a group of fighters willing to protect you in the name of the law. She tilts her head back. Now, if you have any other questions... Anything I should know about this camp? The story is brief. Some merchants built the camp to have an extra stop for mules and donkeys, just between the inn and the southern villages. There's plenty of grass here and ponds nearby. What the heck? I still have a big smudge in my glasses. Where is the smudge coming from? What side is this on? Grr. That's the worst part about glasses, is trying to keep them clean. So you can actually see through them. Okay. Plenty of grass and a pond nearby. When the peninsula grew more abandoned, the camp stood abandoned, from time to time serving as a shelter for travelers. The bandits came here in spring, further paralyzing the exchange of information between the northern and southern settlements. Since these highwaymen are no more, the situation may reverse. Time will tell. You can sleep here wherever you want, the man concludes their tale. Though don't expect to wake up without pain in your back. You or me, where would you go next? The soldier answers quickly. To the inn, of course. He grabs his empty mug. The one northwest from here. If you can't afford the room, the main hall is free of charge. The locals rarely gather here. Rarely gather there. The northern road is much more traveled, mentions Tulia. But the hunters will tell you about this and that, and you'll have a chance to introduce yourself. The innkeeper can listen and knows many souls. Any tips on how to make a good impression? She smirks. Avoid cheap jokes. Stick to trade. Don't waste his time. Show him that you can be relied on. Okay. So maybe go for the distanced, just like matter-of-fact one with him. Any ideas what happened to the previous Roadwarden? Tulia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirmed that he had stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife, without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on that wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave at dawn. Unlike us, Asterion never gets bored. Asterion? So the previous Roadwarden is named Asterion. Tulia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in a basement. The man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or his Saurian. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer Roadwardens often use four-legged meat-eating saurians as their mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but, unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable, and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. Do you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings, says Tulia. My predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Astarion's stuff. Wait. She raises her open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Hovlabon. I was planning to take all his things there. A pouch, a second sphere, a decent bow, some potions. Quite a treasure. She glances at you. But I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. Okay, so you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Hovlabon together. You think about your real mission. You were planning to return to Hovlabon in the early fall anyways. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all of his possessions. Okay, new journal entry. Use the journal to see the list of quests. Oh, we have notes. Okay. Find the Roadwarden. Okay. We don't have any information on the soldier yet. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd begrudge you anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear mostly. Maybe 5 feet tall, but stout. Long red beard, short hair. Pale face, rarely smiles. He glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. So find out what happened to him. Dead? Alive? Left? Just let me know. Okay. I've lost my rope. Could you spare one? You're in luck! She heads towards one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down in her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. I take a closer look. A fine rope. Regular rope made of hemp fibers. I don't have much food. I probably shouldn't. Probably shouldn't give my food. I'm gonna need it. Julia nods. For now, you leave the rope on the table. It's getting late. We should prepare for the night. I agree. Tulia sighs with relief. And may you do better than Asterion did. Stay vigilant. She winks at you, shattering the mask of a soldier. Okay, we have the archive. Okay. The archive just is like the transcription of everything that we've talked about. Okay, thank you for your help. Stay tidy to have a better chance to influence others. Appearance. Okay, I gotta clean up to look good for people. You go to the barrel and splash water on your face, which makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. Your horse is already napping, still too anxious to lay down. Prepare for my watch. The soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around, though they won't try to jump over the palisade. Probably. Better watch out for the apes. They climb up and carry out any food they can find. And there's this one really loud were-elk that keeps smelling the wall, though it has never tried to get in. He points at a gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes here looking for shelter, better call us to help you out. And if this someone is being chased by wolves or anything, better throw them the rope instead. He scratches his head. If it gets cold, feel free to make a fire. The best place is on the watchtower. You may want to put a blanket there or something. The watchtower? He gives you a long, puzzled look. Oh, here! He points at the pile of crates. Just climb up to the tallest one. You'll have a great view of the northern side, the more dangerous side. And also, I know you're tired after all that riding. He points at the tent on the other side of the camp. I can handle a couple hours of sleeping on the ground. If you wish, go there after me and rest, just this once. At least I have a pallet inside. Okay. I smile. Thanks a lot. Nighttime. Okay, so we're, like, up here. Hi, Pen! It's nice to see you. Welcome to stream. Love these story games. Yeah, this is exciting. I love a good text-based adventure. Hi. Okay. You put your blanket to the tallest crate, and sit down. The night is warm, but the sporadic summer breeze brings gentle refreshment. From time to time, your back aches, and you have to force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you focus on the tall grasses. For most of the time, you spot smaller critters and birds, but there are exceptions. At one point, you see 3 horned deer trying to challenge one another. Before they clash their antlers, a 2-legged dragonling appears, leading its much smaller offspring. The furry beasts try to intimidate the predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to risk the fight nor admit their defeat. I don't let it distract me. I keep looking around. You hear the death screams of distant prey and the mating calls of monkeys. Runners are chasing a gray hare. A group of musk oxen lazily chew the grass, preparing themselves to sleep. A dusk fox is running together with a lynx, making playful screeches. That's cute. Thankfully, you never have to intervene. You just sit there, watching the not-so-distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You can only guess how much time has passed. Once you feel you've had enough, you climb down and go to a tent, waking up the bearded man with just a couple of words. You confirm that nothing important has happened. Oh, that roaring sound was... foreshadowing? I gather my things and squeeze into the tent. I use my bag as a pillow, put my blanket on the pallet, and cover myself with my cloak. Sleeping in the tent is not the stuff of dreams, but it's a much welcomed rest. The pallet keeps the cold soil away. The moonlight saves the outside world from the eerie gloom. You listen to your own breath and find a comfortable position. Your job starts tomorrow. I focus on the real goal of my journey. Okay, new goal is explore the peninsula. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your wardening duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula. Learn about the territory, resources, and threats. Get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with the Loumon, officials and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers, or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have time. 40 days to be exact. I need to be as thorough as I can. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Tulia and return to Loumon. There, you'll report back to your employers and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal to pursue. Right. Gather some extra coins so I can save my sibling from debt collectors. Ooh, okay, we're adding another personal goal. Gather some extra coins so I can retire early and live in prosperity. If I gather enough connections among the local leaders, I'll use them to become a major player in the Merchant Guild. I want to be remembered as the soul that brought peace and order to this realm, a hero. I just want to help people make this region safer for the locals and newcomers alike. I need to find a new life for myself. I have a difficult past and I want it to be forgotten. I just want to help people. I just want to make things safer. Okay, you can't travel during the night. Press sleep button to rest. Oh, my Numa, my magic. I have 3 out of 5. Okay. Your half-asleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious, though the pleasant, humid late summer air evens it out slowly. You're thinking about your goal, but you need to gather your strength. All I can do now is rest. Sleep. Sleeping in a tent. You can spend the night in a borrowed tent. It's nothing special, but it will protect you from the wind and rain, and the ground won't be painfully hard nor cold. Ooh, -2 hunger. We're gonna be, like, starving. Cost 2 Numa. Well, if I lose 2 Numa, I'll only have 1 left. You take a look at your amulets. For most people, they would be nothing more than trash, but you wouldn't sell them for a pouch of dragon bones. You use them to shape Numa to your will. With these little mementos, the few spells you're familiar with are far more reliable. Who knows, maybe there's already some power held in them. You look at the old, though clean bandages that remember dozens of herbal balms and wounds. You can put them on your hurting muscles, bruises, and scratches, then hum an old song about time, which either heals all wounds or kills us too soon to let us bother with our problems. After a few hours or so, the linen will warm up, confirming it did its job. This tent may not be much, but your spell would make you feel as good as new, though you'd lose some of your energy. Hi, Exia. Welcome to stream. It's nice to see you. Ooh, and the redeems. Thank you, Exia, for watering your tree. Let me get up and stretch. How are you today, sweet Exia? Big stretch. And of course, the yawn that comes with it. Let me de-shrimpify. Oh, I think I might turn on my fan really quick, too. It's starting to get a bit warm in here. There we go. Okay. I'm doing well. How are you? I woke up feeling a bit anxious, but since I started streaming, I feel a bit better now. I think having the distraction is helping. I don't know why I was anxious. I don't know. That just happens. Sometimes I wake up and just my brain is immediately like, something's wrong. And I'm like, what? What is wrong? And my brain is like, something. I won't tell you. Just something. Doing fine. Been busy. Well, I hope you have some time to rest and relax as well. Not too busy, I hope. Okay. Aw, thank you for the head pats, Exia. You're so sweet. Okay, I'm concerned about the Numa. I think I'm gonna hold on to my Numa. Because if I use 2, I'm only gonna have 1 left, and then how am I gonna do spells? Okay, I'm hungry. Okay. You're woken up by sunlight, well rested and ready. Without haste, you gather your things. After only a couple of breaths, you notice a weird smell, like a roast. No, burning meat. Burning rotten meat. Disgust crawls into your consciousness. You exit the tent. Your horse is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you had left them. You see an open gate. I go outside to see what's happening. Both soldiers are standing near a humble pyre. The man in the shirt looks at it contemplatively. Julia is the first one to address you. Win? She greets you with a nod. We used the horse's manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning it up. You see a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belongs to a male or female, but it was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple more hours. A traveler or an undead? The latter. A young one. She lacked the pneuma to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She shifts her weight. One more fog and she'd be a real threat. Even now it took a couple of hits to knock her down. Sooner or later every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength with each soul it devours, and each moment it spends in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even road wardens. Making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Tulia calls this undead a she. Most Unites hesitate to do so. Okay, so she really is different from the rest of her church. Time for me to leave. Running away from the reek, huh? I don't blame you. She walks with you for a few steps. Find us here if you need us, or if you learn what happened to Asterion. There's enough ground here for you to rest. Safe travels. These words make you stop. An old farewell, mocked in a number of songs and tales, but yet you hear no scorn in Tulia's voice. You wonder how many acts of kindness like this you're going to experience in the days to follow. She returns to the pyre. I prepare myself for the journey. Okay, we're gonna wait until this ad is done to keep going, because I don't want anyone to miss things. We'll just chill for a bit. It'll give me a chance to take a sip of my drink and rest my voice a minute. The one thing I didn't consider about the game like this is it's a lot of narrating. And then Little Witch in the Wood is also voice acting narrating, and I'm doing that tomorrow. So I think in future weeks, we might alternate these games every Saturday between Roadwarden and Little Witch in the Woods. And that way we have our, like, one narration game each week, and it's not gonna be too much voice work. And then Friday, we'll find some other fun things to do. I'm gonna try to put up my poll for my upcoming karaoke stream on maybe tomorrow. I need to talk to Toon and see if I can post it in the collab server as well, because I want to post it in my Discord server and the collab server so that I can get as many people answering as possible and figure out what day would work best for everyone. Anyone who wants to show up and hang out while I sing would be fun. And I've been working on my set list, and I'm got about 45 songs on it. Some of them I'm a little iffy on still, but I'm gonna keep working on them, and hopefully they'll be done in time for the stream. It's just like my Japanese songs that I feel like I need to practice more, because it's my second language, so it's harder for me to it's harder for me to memorize and make sure that I'm pronouncing everything correctly. Because it's like, that's like the one thing I struggle with in singing in Japanese, is like the way you speak in Japanese is like consistent and the rules make sense and stuff. But when you're singing it, certain vowels and things get elongated, and it's hard to predict, like, just reading the lyrics, which, you know, where the emphasis on the syllables and stuff is in a song. So I've been practicing, trying to memorize more because normally my thing is I memorize the lyrics and then listen and, like, you know, go by ear. With the Japanese songs, I'm really trying to, like, memorize by ear each line so that I'm not learning anything incorrectly. So I have a couple that should be ready in time for the stream, but we'll see if my other ones are. And we're back from Adland. Okay. We're getting ready to travel. I need to ride north. Somehow missed the fact that your mount is already saddled and warmed up. You double-check the equipment, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent. Normally, preparing any palfrey for a long journey takes a lot of time. You put on your gambeson and make sure that your axe is tightly attached to your belt. Then get in the saddle. The palfrey nickers, ready to leave. It's time for you to get to the crossroads north from here. Okay. Travel forward to continue your journey. Once you're done with the north, speak with Tulia and return to Loumon. Okay. Let's travel north. Even at a later hour, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward, but the serene chirping of birds is quickly replaced by the distracting screeches and gurgles, coming from further down the path. You soon find the pack of four-legged griffins. They're larger than foxes, and merge the feathers of birds and furred beasts. Each one is a different size, coat, and color, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears have darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're too heavy to fly. About 24 beasts are yelling, brawling, and chasing each other around, blocking your path. I consider my options. Well, I have plenty of Numa. Okay, so there's dice rolls of random chance. You can't enter the forest blindly. If these or other creatures were to chase after you, the thicket would be disastrous for your horse. There are reasons why travelers stay as close to the main roads as possible, and why adventurers move in groups. Usually the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for the pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up to a couple of hours. You're thinking of your conversation with Tulia. You've got a lot to do, and time may be of the essence. Okay, should we take our axe and hurry the horse? If we ride fast enough, we should be fine. Or should we stay here? Better safe than sorry. Oh, I grab an amulet and shape a missile of light. A harmless flare will frighten them off. Costs 1 Numa. Okay. You can learn more about your abilities in the character sheet. Okay. Pagan, faith undetermined. Okay. Spared animals. Ooh. I'm definitely gonna be sparing animals. Okay. Healing ritual. Whenever you go to sleep, you can spend Numa to restore your vitality. Okay. Slay. I like the character sheet. You grab one of your oldest amulets, a pendant made of leather and a single dim pearl. The little sphere is covered by cryptic engravings, but if there's any special meaning behind them, you were never able to find out what it could be. Holding the pearl between your fingers, you feel the pleasant, familiar warmth. The spell you're about to cast is not much more than a mere illusion, but you take a couple of breaths, trying to minimize any risk of failure. The Numa leaves your shell, formed into a white ball that you barely comprehend. When it falls next to the griffins for a couple of blinks, it emits a dazzling light. The animals squeak and snarl, fleeing in multiple directions at once. The road is now clear. I ride forward and enjoy the touch of my pendant. It cools down slowly. Ooh, keep track of your achievements. Used to be a mage. The road splits. According to what the soldiers have told you, you may find a safe inn by turning left. The forest to the right is lush and the trail is overgrown. Kids used to have the song. How did it go? The harshest pathways lead to the dragon's lair. Those who search for treasure, do you truly dare? The signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. was put here by someone who can't write, for folks who can't read. Covered in old red paint, it points east. Blood there, as people say. Danger to be found. There's not a soul to ask for guidance. I look at my horse. What's its name? What should we name our horse? Maybe we just name it after Sen, our little deer mascot. Sen is peaceful as you stroke its mane. Maybe it can't help you choose a path, but you've spent many years together. Happy to go on, it takes a couple of steps forward. You spot a few berry shrubs and wild cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Time to make a turn. Ooh. We're going left or right? To the west goes to the inn. Well, we needed to go to the inn to ask about the Roadwarden, probably. As much as I kind of want to explore the forest, we need to ask about Astarion. And there might be shelter there. Sen trots with ease, unbothered by a few branches covering the beaten road. The bird songs and distant howls draw your attention to the forest, which gets sparser and brighter. You spot boars, roe deer, and saurians. The sight of a nearby wolf pack worries you, but once you push your hips forward and your palfrey enters a canter, the beasts don't even begin a pursuit. The speed alone will protect you from many dangers. You notice a stone tower, taller than the trees. It must be the inn I've heard about. Inns like this one fit the regions traveled by merchants, but you wouldn't expect a place of this size in a forsaken peninsula. The stone and lumber must have been transported from far away, and the workers, guarded by expensive mercenaries, surely lived for many seasons in a primitive hamlet, subsisting on salted supplies. There are seemingly no cracks in the wall, and the building was whitewashed only a few years back. The road is wide and beaten. Dozens of souls could hide, if not in the buildings, then at least in the yard. The expenses and labor put into this fortress were worth many trading ships. 3 armed people are on the ramparts, though you only see what's above their waistline. They're leaning on the parapet right next to the gates, and you think you notice a glimpse of a smile. They wear gambesons, each one of them dyed differently, yellow, green, and linen gray. I approach the gate. A woman in yellow armor leans forward. She has long, curly, disorderly red hair, pointing in every possible direction. I feel that. This combination of colors doesn't work at all. In the woods, one would have to shout to draw this much attention. There's still a fair distance between the two of you, but she speaks loudly. I hadn't seen a horse for years now. I just said it's weird to see such a large jackass, huh? Her voice is young and strong, with an accent that reminds you of the villages spread around Hovlavon. But no jackass would wear a saddle, I'd say. She exchanges a few words with a male guard wearing green, giving you time to move closer. Well, this one here says there really are donkey saddles. Say, traveler, how hard is it to ride a horse? How about you give it a try? Oh, I think we're gonna go joking with her. I laugh. You wouldn't believe it. The lessons were a pain. You get off your horse and imitate the silly walk from the day that followed your first long journey. When your whole shell was crying. You illustrate the pain as you move your hand from your back to hips, then thighs. In return, the guards tell you about that time when they had to carry their friend with bitten-off legs for 3 days straight, through the heart of the woods. Meanwhile, the other guards open the gate. You may be in a good mood. The woman in the yellow jacket smiles at you. But don't get so noisy when you talk to our boss. The man never smiles. He has the world's suffering sculpted on his face. She leads you under the roof which your palfrey can rest, tethered with a cord to a wooden post near some old hay. Once you're ready, go inside, speak with our boss. Maybe you're hungry. The other guards take care of various chores. They peek at your mount every now and then as they're splitting firewood, cleaning their clothes, weeding the garden patches, and moving chairs. 2 of them are making a rope. You head toward the inn, hearing the piercing scream of a boar from the other side of the yard. I open the door. New shelter unlocked. You're at an inn in the morning, you can spend the entire day on resting. Oh, that's good to know. The locked windows make the air stuffy, and the weak fire in the stove hardly lightens up the hall. A muscular man is sweeping the floor near the stairs, but after he glances at you, he leans the broom against the wall and heads behind the counter. You're lucky to show up. His voice is deep and soft, with a city-like accent. He observes you with keen attention, yet avoids your eyes. I have a keg of decent ale, wormwood, bog myrtle, juniper berries, cat's foot. He fills a mug carefully and puts it on the countertop. It's going to spoil soon, today maybe, and we don't drink here before the eve, and I hate to see the good stuff going to waste. His skin is dark, almost purple, rare even among the southern tribes, and his hair is naturally bluish. His clothes are quite fancy for manual labor. The elegant tunic wouldn't stand out in the city square. I stand at the counter. The planks let out a creak after every step you make, so you slow down a bit. You could swear the innkeeper made little to no noise. Here you go. He pushes the mug forward. But just so you know, my pelt of the north doesn't belong to Loumon. You can sleep on the floor if you wish so, but if you want a bed or a meal, you have to pay. We may have some leftovers for dinner, but I'd need to check. I won't stay here for long. I'm not gonna intimidate. I'm just gonna say I won't stay here for long. He nods and fills another mug, this time with water. I guess there's no point in waiting for Asterion then. I'm glad to see someone taking his place. Even my crew here hits the road only if they need to see the healers of the Howler's Dell. And if they're more than resourceful, a Roadwarden is always going to find work here in the north. Though maybe not on the eastern road. He takes a mouthful of water and drinks it with a pleased sigh. There are no guests here at this time, or hardly ever. I can take a short break. For a brief moment he meets your eyes. Should we drink the ale, or ignore and tell him I have questions? I mean, he said it would be a shame to go to waste. The dark room and wooden walls of the mug make the liquid look as brown as a chestnut. The Leyan spring hits your nose, and the first sip is even too complex, too flowery. While the brewer has used fancy ingredients, the exotic licorice ruins the aftertaste. Now you know why there's so much left. Maybe it takes an acquired taste. The innkeeper nods. I was hoping to see someone willing to patrol the roads. Maybe you'll help me with a worrying thought I have. Which is... There are brigands in the woods. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid of an open strike. But they've gotten more active in the last 2 years. Oh wait, no, this is his voice. Sorry. There are brigands in the woods. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid of an open strike. But they've gotten more active in the last 2 years. One day, they may steal our furs. And I've no doubt they're the reason why merchants come here only once. Having bandits around gets expensive. He rubs his hands together, camouflaging his paws. I want you to reach the Howler's Dell, northwest from here. It's the largest settlement around. I'm sure you'll get there sooner or later. Ask Thais, the major about Glaucia, the bloodthirsty wolf of a woman. I've heard rumors about a raid in the north. If Glaucia's ready to break the truths... I can speak. Tongue twister. If Glaucia is ready to break the truce with the locals, I'm willing to join forces with them to get rid of her band. He looks at a nearby dragon bone. Not too difficult, right? Just do it when you have a chance. A couple of days won't make much of a difference. I'll pay you 2 coins when you get back with the news. Fine. I nod. I'm not gonna try to extort him for more money. What else do you need? Okay. I'm looking for Asterion. Are you now? He goes to the table and invites you to sit down with him. I don't think I'm going to be of much help. He rests his elbow on the tabletop and grunts quietly to clear his throat. But I do want you to find him, so... When asked about his intentions, he measures his words. Asterion and I made a risky deal. Well, a very promising one. Last time he was here, he took 50 coins. My half of the investment. He knocks on the table with a fist anxiously. If you get my coin, or at least find out what happened to the guy. I'll make sure you won't be disappointed after bringing me the news. Could it be that Asterion stole the coins and ran away? He looks at a window and starts to play with a shutter. I just think Asterion ain't the kind of soul that would do such a thing. For him, it wasn't much of a fortune, and I'd risk saying he had earned my trust. Not only mine, you know. It's easy for a Roadwarden to make connections. He always had places to go, things to take care of. He rubs the table with his thumb, as if trying to clean an invisible stain. I've asked travelers. I've sent a couple of my pals to find him. No real news. I know he stayed in White Marshes for a day and was meant to do something for the people there. It's a village in the northwest. Just stay on the main road until you reach the bogs, then enter them. You may get there before dusk. Okay, White Marshes is in the northwest. So, let me know once you find anything. And we may just yet return to this whole investment thing. I'll think about it. Okay. Oh, Glaucia's banned. He freezes, observing your hand silently. He wants me to get the answers from the mayor of Howlersdale. I'm on it. Okay. What can you tell me about the peninsula? What could anyone say? This place doesn't even have a name, unless there's an old book in an archive that no soul knows about. You know what I'd call everything from here to the coast? The hunting ground. He glances at your eyes. But it's not us who hunt. Keep that in heart. But the beasts in all shapes and forms. His words gain confidence slowly, which is strengthened by his deep voice. I've lived in this inn for over 10 years now, and I've only seen a couple of roads, a couple of places. It's just... once you get here and you see how harsh it is to hit the road, you've only more reasons to stay at the warm stove, behind a wall, even if it's suffocating. He looks towards the window. I'm sure you've heard a lot already, that the people don't build hamlets anymore. There are no more ibexes from the south, and the traders stay for only a few days. All of our iron is used for cauldrons, not swords or tools. Okay, what will I find traveling west? Well, there are hills nearby. Then you'll find a village, maybe an hour away from here. It was destroyed by beasts almost a decade ago, nothing to see there. The goblins live there now, so most people just travel around it. They say it's haunted, but who knows, who cares? He crosses his arms and starts to sway back and forth, gathering his thoughts. You'll get to a large tree on the edge of the swamp. For the locals, it's sacred. You're not used to hearing someone mentioning pagans as if there's nothing unusual about them. There's a small path south, which leads to an old mine in the mountains. Nothing to find there. You keep riding north and you'll find Howler's Dell, set at a clean brook. Farmers live there, and mouflons and druids. They'll let you stay for a night, but they're not cheap. If anyone thinks my prices are bad, it means they ain't been to the Ape Ale Inn yet. He lets out a gentle smile. I smile politely. I know only a bit about the next settlement. Old Pagos. The soil there ain't too fertile, so they work in their quarry to help other settlements build things in exchange for crops. The forests and hills ain't too harsh, but the Seekers have a small monastery nearby, in the mountains. I don't care much about them. They keep to themselves and they don't pay well. The third village is unknown to me. White Marshes set at the bogs. I've heard it smells like a griffin's lair. I've heard a lot of nasty rumors about that place, but I won't share them. I don't want to be a lie spreader. Ah! Welcome, welcome! Thank you, Prom, for the raid! Welcome, raiders! My name is Win Koshika, and my pronouns are they, them. Today, we are playing Roadwarden, a game that was gifted to us by V2Nix, a good friend of ours on the channel. No beating ass. It's nice to see you all. Welcome to stream. Thank you again for the raid, Prom. So silly. Welcome, raiders. How are you all doing? What were you up to on stream today? Something exciting, I hope. Chaos. Model is so cute. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Annoying Promi until she burned the world down. Ooh. Don't tempt her. She'll do it too. So cute. We're playing... Oh, we played Sons of the Forest and it was chaos. Ooh, I bet. I think I'm playing Sons of the Forest either... No, not next week. The week after for collab night. We're gonna be back in our treehouse city. I'm glad you... I hope you had a good time. And thank you for the follows! Monster Psyche, Kota Unknown, and Slate. 5 Slate. Thank you, thank you. That's so sweet of you all. In this game, we are playing a Roadwarden who is meant to clear out monsters and make the road safer for people, in this kind of darker fantasy kind of world where monsters are everywhere. It's kind of giving, like, vibe-wise, it's giving, like, Darkest Dungeon, if anybody is familiar with that, where it's, like, it's slightly like the like world hopelessness, darkness, monsters everywhere, and like trying to survive in unoptimal conditions. Gonna lurk a bit, gonna go eat. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Go take care of yourself. I hope you get something yummy. I hope you get some good rest after stream. Thank you again for the raid. Let me give you a shout out. There we go. Thank you, thank you. Okay, where were we? Oh. So 3 villages, really. Howlers, the one near the monastery, whatever it's called, and marshes. Don't let their beds and palisades fool you, though. Weird people live there. Don't tell them more than you need to. You wonder if it's something he would tell other travelers as well. Okay, are the eastern roads as rough as I've heard? So far in this, we've been to a soldier's camp. There were supposed to be 8 soldiers there, but when we got there, there were only 2 left, and they told us that the previous Roadwarden, Asterion, has disappeared, and they want to know what happened to him. So they pointed us in the direction of this inn, which we've gone to, and now we're, like, getting information from the innkeeper, who also wants to know what happened to Asterion, because he owes him, like, 50 coins or something. He made an investment, and then Asterion, like, disappeared. We don't know if he's dead, if he ran off, what happened to him. Yeah, 50, isn't that crazy? And we have, like, 5 coins, so... Hopefully, if we can figure out what happened to Asterion, both of those people will either help us, or reward us, or, like... get somewhere with us. We'll get somewhere. Okay. The roads to the east are rough. That's where the forest is. We decided to go west instead to go to the inn to try to get more information. Innkeeper says, pretty much, don't leave the main road, I'd say. Not so far from here you'll find an old dolmen. Few of my people had to spend a night there, and monkeys stole food and gods from their bags. It was their fault. One of them had fallen asleep in the middle of his watch, but you know, the eastern forests are wild, the roads are rough. Almost no soul lives there. One day all these roads will be swallowed up by the trees again. He carries a lifelong debt. So sad. Yeah, apparently Asterion was not, like, I mean, he was kind of well off, I guess. He was not hurting for money, so he doesn't think that he, like, stole it and ran off, but he's not sure. So I guess we'll see if we can find him. Maybe we'll find... Maybe he'll be hiding somewhere, maybe we'll find his corpse on the side of the road, who knows? The furthest my team has ever gone was the home of the Enchantress. Just stay on track until you reach the crossroads, right near an abandoned watchtower. From there, turn east. You'll recognize the place. It's a nice home in a lonely meadow, surrounded by a wall. He looks towards the closed window, then at you again. Kind of like our walls, but simpler. Without coding. She lives as a hermit. Eudocia. Eudocia? Eudocia? I think it's Eudocia. I don't even know how she survives there, but if you don't have decent coin, you won't find much there. Oof, we only have 5 coins. So, back to the crossroads. If you turn left instead, you'll see a road. People stay away from it. It connects the tower and the monastery. A shortcut between the 2 sides of the peninsula. I was warned by the locals not to use it. It already belongs to the beasts. Okay, wait. So, crossroads, the Enchantress is east, and then a road connecting to the tower and the monastery is west. But we're warned not to use it. I mean, but if it's like beasts, we can fight beasts. I think that's our job. Have you ever been to the northern coast? I only know about another inn. It's far from here, maybe a day on foot, a bit less from the eastern side. His eyes once again focus on the floor. I've never been there, but I've heard it's a safe place, close to villages of fishers and hunters, though I don't know much about them. That's all I need. Do you have any leftovers? Yes, I feed them to our boar. I won't give them away for nothing. He tells you to wait, then leaves the building for a few minutes and returns with a wooden bucket and a long stick ending with a hook. Go through the gate and turn left. You'll see a bunch of bushes. We need some berries. Bring me a bucket full and you'll be done in half an hour or so. Your horse could use a nap anyway, and I'll prepare something to fill you. The hook is not made of metal or wood. It's a long, curved claw, almost black. Okay. Reach for the tools. Yeah, we're gonna pick the berries for you, man. Received a set of tools. The tools are cold, not too heavy. You notice a pair of thick gloves at the bottom of the bucket. Ah, the berries are not the problem, the innkeeper smirks. Unlike the snakes, better scare them away with a stick or move them with a hook. And protect your hands. The little ones won't eat you, but don't get bitten. I'm sure you know how to be patient. Okay, I have other questions first. I didn't expect to find an inn of this size in a place like this. Ah, so you know a thing or two after all. His mocking tone is soon replaced by a gentle smile. It was built long before we arrived. It didn't work out well for the previous owners. Once the war ended, they left. Not enough travelers, bad trade, and the villages stick to themselves. We, however, came prepared. And now we're prospering. When you ask him how they can afford all the supplies, he runs his fingers through his dark hair. I'm not against running an inn, but we don't rely on guests. We're the ones doing all the trading. My hunters are a clever bunch and stay safe in the forest. In exchange for furs, claws, and bones, we get what we need, and more. Both from the south and the north. He moves to the window and peeks outside. We have a good life here. We spent a whole lot on armor, crossbows, lumber, spears. But in another 10, maybe 20 years, we'll have enough savings to move to Loumon and not work for another day in our lives. We take risks, but smartly. The team is stronger than ever, and I have big plans for us. Is there a good story behind the inn's name? I mean, there's a story, but not a good one. He clears his throat. For years, I wanted to have an inn called Pelt, but in my city it would be in bad taste. Taverns and inns named with a single word were cheap and a nasty reputation. There was the Claw, and Mugger, Basilisk, and Blissful, I think. The good places used at least 2 words. Empty Barrel, a rose and a helmet, Empress Smile, Pighead was the exception. It was a real dive. He chuckles. In my soul, it's still just a pelt. Pelts are what we came here for, and what will make us reach our goals. I'm not gonna ask him about his race. That feels rude. What do you have for sale? I can go and pick up a few things for you. Some food for your travels to start with. Apples, nuts, sausage. Not too many at once. We need to maintain our supplies. I've got an elk fur I don't need. Its buyer was caught by a pack of red wolves. Nice for a sleeping spot, just as nice for a wall. An almost untouched bowl of soap? Priceless for a traveler. You can't tell if he's being sarcastic. made of fine oak ash, strong, though you should have some better supplies before you start your own bathhouse. After you mentioned you'd like something more useful on these roads, he looks down. I don't have any blades or armor to spare, but if you pay well, you can take one of our crossbows and a bunch of corals. A yew bow, wool cords, and the trigger needs just a little bit of oil. It's as good as you can get without soaking it in magic. Takes a bit of muscle to draw, but even a 16-year-old could handle it. I won't sell it cheap, but I'm ready to give a discount to a helpful ally. Either he's sarcastic or crazy as hell. Yeah, this innkeeper, I was told by one of the people outside that he's like, don't joke with him. He's very, like, matter of fact and just is gonna say how it is. Okay, food rations. Refilling meals that won't spoil anytime soon. Milk for burn skin on longer. Okay, the soap I think I need. I'm gonna get the soap and more rations. And I think that'll be good. Not afraid to say what's on his mind? Yeah, exactly. I think the soap is necessary because my appearance, my cleanliness is not great. People are hesitant to trust you, your face is dirty. Can I use the soap? Where's my... Oh yeah, soap. Okay. Any rumors worth sharing? He crosses his arms. I don't like to talk about people who ain't nearby, but you know what you're doing. Who are you wondering about? Who are you asking about? Wow, you have to type specifically? Asterion? Okay. Well, not a large man, though broad-shouldered. Red hair and beard. I don't know what to say. He raises a muscled arm and places a hand on the back of his head. He was a fine fellow, but I doubt he's alive. He always tried to stay away from things, let's say. People knew him, but he didn't really have allies. Maybe the locals know what happened to him, yet decided not to help him. Or they wanted to get rid of him. He leans forward, looks at his boots. Asterion was a fine man. A quiet one, but not dumb. He aided me many times, not for free, of course. And when he couldn't finish the job, it was for damn good reasons. And you know what? He looks at you in the eyes. He was scrupulous, patient. I'd be shocked if he died because of some mistake of his. Maybe the bandits got to him. Why not? Okay. I'm gonna go outside. Zen, our horse. Moving around slowly. Thinking of tools. Can I go to the well? Ugh. Okay. I'm gonna wash. Okay, cool. Enough to remove the tallow and sweat from your skin, mud stains from your clothes. Step away. The armorer. You walk past the well and find a small open shed, not unlike the stable, but with a humble set of tables, carving tools, hammers, sharpening stones, pincers, knives, and other tools. Don't want to be stinky, yeah? Yeah, I don't want people to think badly of me because I smell. I want people to like me. As long as something can be solved by brute force, this place will find a way to do so. There are two people sitting on a long bench. The first one is a male with maybe inch-long hair and a cleanly shaven face, a thin, long yellow tunic, bare legs, and sandals. He ignores your presence, sewing a gambeson with great concentration. The second person is a boy, maybe 15, who's wearing the crude outfit of a farmer. He glances at you, but soon returns to sharpening a long dagger. Greetings. The man raises his head, but it's the boy who speaks, focused on his task. He ain't talking. Tell him what it is that you need. The man smiles in confirmation, looks at the piece of garment in his hands, and then looks around, shrugs, and returns to you with a raised eyebrow. I'm not sure I want to spend more money right now. But I want to see. He nods, points at the laces in the front of your jacket, raises his clenched fingers to his shoulders, then gently spreads and lowers them as if he's taking off a robe. You follow his command and allow him to properly inspect your gambeson. After a few minutes, he gives it back, then reaches for his pouch. He pulls out one dragon bone, shrugs, then another one, and waves both of them in the air, pursing his lips. He makes a few speech-like noises with his empty mouth, groaning what sounds like, I don't know. So, is his tongue? Did someone cut out his tongue? Oh, no worries. Sorry, the second word in that sentence is a trigger for, someone in my community, so I just have it blocked so that it doesn't, if they're here, it doesn't trigger them. You didn't do anything wrong, just so you know for the future. It's totally understandable you wouldn't know. I just wanna keep everyone safe. Thank you for understanding. Okay. I consider his offer. Gambeson repairs. Okay. Cool. Okay, I'm not gonna spend any more money. I'm gonna leave. Let's go forage for berries. The innkeeper knew what he was talking about. He put on the gloves and looked through the bushes from a safe distance. It doesn't take long before you notice the first serpent lying on a rock somewhere in the thicket. The creatures are not that large, and even if some of them hiss at you or slither closer, the jabs of the hook keep them at a distance. Thank you, Exia, for watering your tree. Thank you, thank you. I'd be forgetting to drink water, which is necessary in games like this where I'm doing a lot of narrating. Big stretch. Thank you. Woo, Kota! First daily watering! Welcome. Yeah, water your little sprouts. Okay. Yawns. Okay. You don't know much about these berries. They're round and reddish. You wouldn't trust such a color even if you were looking for food in the wilderness. The plants don't have thorns, but the leaves are harsh. You make sure to thoroughly cover your skin with your clothes. You have to look through many bushes to fill the bucket, but the presence of insects and snakes doesn't allow you to relax. Gather the berries and go back to the inn. You've returned to the courtyard. Two of the guards are participating in a friendly skirmish. Their wrestling is accompanied by a crowd. They enter the inn. You again. Need anything? I put the fruits on the counter. Great. He peeks inside the bucket. I've got cabbage stew with a few goose chunks for you. I'd serve it even to the merchants, if there were any around. The meal is warm and filling. It's well seasoned and not overcooked. Like I've said, I rarely have food to spare, but feel free to ask if you ever stop by. You may be lucky, and I've been cooking my whole life. You guys like cabbage soup? I mean, I like cabbage rolls. So, and like, when I make cabbage rolls, it's like made in a broth that turns into a soup, and it's pretty good. So, probably. I've never had just plain cabbage soup. I'd probably like it, though. I'm not a picky eater. Oh, cabbage rolls are so good. I make them, so, like, I make the filling. I like, make shrimp. I, like, mince shrimp up into a paste, and then mix it with, carrot, like, shredded carrot and, onion. And then you lay out the cabbage, and then do, like, super thin sliced beef, and then the filling, and then roll it up, and then, like, arrange them all in the pan, and then cover it with, like, broth and soy sauce and seasonings and stuff. It's so good. It's so yummy. And it's, like, so, it's such, like, a homey meal to me. I love making it. It's almost the right season for it too. I feel like it's the best in like autumn, early winter. It's so good. I've also been cooking my whole life. Thank you. How did that old hook of mine work out for you? I see you still have your hands. I'm just gonna give him back the hook. I'm not gonna steal it, and that would be mean. Takes the tools from you and nods. Need anything else? Okay, I don't have anything else to talk to him about. So I've seen the armor, I've seen the well. Let's approach the guards. Maybe the guards have information. The woman in yellow armor is kneeling next to a brown, hairy boar, which is resting on its side. The beast is not as large as the dark ones from the forest. It responds to the touch of the human's hand and brush with grateful grunting and rapid twitches of a hind hoof. No matter how friendly it appears, it's still tethered to the wall, and you'll have no doubts that its charge would leave Sen dead in a breath. Oh no. When the woman notices you, she steps forward, to the boar's disappointment. So, the new Roadwarden? She points at a window with her chin, forestalling the question. We don't need anything now, but when we travel with our furs, we could use some assistance. She may be around 30, but her warm voice and bright smile are camouflaging the touch of time with her unpowdered face. Like many red-haired people with freckles, her skin is unhealthily pale. The boar runs up to her, observing your boots and fruitlessly sniffing for food beneath the beaten ground. She pats its back but maintains her focus. How about a game or two? You have a bit of time and can talk a bit about this and that. Maybe you'll get a couple of coins, or lose one. We could play dice or throw axes at a target. Sure, let's play some dice. Cute boar, right? I want to pet the boar. I want to pet all the animals. Your arrival, and especially the dragon bone you pull out, are cheerfully welcomed. 2 of the guards bring a table from the inn. Another one prepares a couple of stools and chairs. There are also spectators, and you're told that the other hunters are either sleeping or have duty on the tower. Remember, no magic, says one of the players. His face is deadly serious. I would never. The game is new to you, but in no way baffling. 4 people can play at once. The wooden dice are long, with only 4 dotted faces. Every time someone wins a round, they get a point, and the person with the most points at the end of the game wins all the coins. As you play, you don't feel like you have much control over the results. I blend in with the group. You share casual jokes, memories, and views on luck and optimal strategies. Sen and Tulia's camp are also brought up, but when you ask about the roads or the locals, their stories are vague. The drinks are here. It's a poor beer made from the leftovers after the regular brewing. It's cold, sweet, and doesn't reach your head, but you try to avoid the smell. Just don't spill anything, the boar may get sick, says your bald opponent. Fun fact, did you know that when you pat a shark, likes pats? I don't know about great white sharks, they seem a little aggressive. Oh yeah, I've seen people like patting like reef sharks or like the little sharks that you can like swim with. They're so cute. I love sharks. Sharks are so misunderstood. It's amazing how much damage like shark movies have done to like the public's perception of sharks. Like I think I heard I'm pretty sure I read that it was like the creator of Jaws even like regrets what he's done to like the public perception of sharks. Because it's like so much fear-mongering, and it's like you're more likely to get killed in like a car accident than by a shark. Like, let's be honest. Okay, in just a few minutes you get 2 points, which are now represented by smooth pebbles. You don't really know how you got them. Either you don't get the strategy, or it's just pure luck. Let's see how lucky I am. Oh, I got 3 coins! During the final round, you get ahead of everyone, and the spectators playfully comment on your moves. The winner takes all. 3 dragons are placed on the table, and you put them into your pouch quickly. Hopefully we don't get scammed by the dice. Right? It was definitely a risk, but it was worth it. The table and chairs are moved back into the building. The guard in yellow armor thanks you for playing. Is there anything you need? Have you ever been to the heart of the woods? We sometimes hunt south from there. There are good hunting grounds in the west half. The second one is too overgrown. Maybe the soil is different? She shrugs, then moves the hair away from her forehead. But it's a risky spot. There are treants there, and wolves, even the furless ones. And if you have to go through the tall grasses, watch out for what's on the ground. There ain't many archers in the trees. She smiles as if it's a joke. But there are all too many worms, even larger than a water leech. Okay, tell me about yourself. Oh, what was that? After a brief giggle, her voice gets cold and serious. Nah, Roadwarden. We use names and stories among friends. You ain't one. Don't make me tempt curses. Okay, I'm sorry. I was just trying to get to know you. Okay. I have some questions about this place. Not much to tell. Okay. Your group seems quite attached to the boar. How could you not be? She crouches and raises the boar's head, but it steps away and squeals as if someone's murdering it. Came with us from the city, just in case. We had no clue how our first winter would go, so we needed some backup meat. And it works, too. Cleans the dirt. She reaches out to the beast again, but it trots away. The woman straightens up with a pleased sigh. We haven't needed to eat it so far, but it's also funny. I learned in my home village that the farm boars are getting a bit smaller and more cuddly, kinda like ibexes, so it's not such a wild, dangerous beast. But we don't let it get close to other animals, or children. Okay. What do you usually hunt for? That might be useful to me. Anything we can eat or sell. If there's a partridge, a squirrel, or a rat, we don't complain. But when we move as a group, we look for something larger. Deers and aurochs are delicious, but we don't always look for taste alone. There's value in bones, antlers, claws, tusks, things people use to make tools or sculptures. We use some of them to make tools and spears. You can never have enough spears. She pauses and looks at a strand of her hair, then suddenly speaks up again. And we look for furs, of course. Okay, thank you. I walk away. I think we travel. So... what further west? I need to look at the... wait, archive. Sorry, just to remember what is where. Oh. Okay, it doesn't go up that far? That's unfortunate. So west was... probably... okay. Did we go west or east? Because west... further west was the tower, and then east is the woods. Should we wait here and sleep? We're pretty good on everything so far. 10 hours, 30 minutes before dusk. We probably have time to travel. Let's go further west. The road uphill meanders, slowing you down and forcing you to pay close attention not only to the shadows of the trees, but also to the tight, rocky passages. You can't help but notice a few caves and fine ambush spots. I keep an eye out for any sign of life. The ruined village. Right, west was the village that's like destroyed and has goblins living in it. Standing in front of the gate, you hear no voices, no tools at work, no steps. Dozens of birds live among the collapsed roofs. Their fluttering, singing, and squawking is free of worries. Must kill all goblins. Yeah, we'll see what we can do here. The sniper. If you want to travel any further, you need to ride around the palisade. Searching the ruins may take a lot of time. The broken gate in the north will lead you to the village. The sound of gentle river reaches you from the east, where you see a saggy fence surrounding an overgrown pasture. Behind the burnt building in the east, you see an oddly barren field. Okay, approach the building near the field, or take a closer look at the gate, or move forward. So... this is the building that's burnt. Let's approach the building. The broken logs and planks are charred, while the wooden walls are rotten and covered in moss. You see no ashes or dust, proving that the fire happened long ago. The smell is awful, and there are no reasons to stay for long. You see no furniture, just some broken shelves. It was just a storage room. Valuable odds and ends were already taken by the scavengers. Okay, take a closer look at the gate. The palisade is in good shape, and the entrance wasn't even touched by the fire. It was torn away, possibly thrown. The amount of used force must have been huge, but you'd expect that it would push the gate into the village, not away from it. You don't see any marks of a dragon bite. A troll could toss such planks, but after so many years, you see no paw prints. A mage? You can't really tell. Ooh, this is dangerous. Should we move forward? Let's do it. Okay, there's the southwest part of the village, the fields, and then the pasture. Let's do the village. Oh, I see. We're like slowly unlocking the parts of the map. That's interesting. Careful. I know. Spooky. The buildings, some of which have collapsed, are made of wood, now charred and rotten. You spot claw marks on the walls, especially close to the doors and window frames. They could belong to a dragonling, or a large wolf, larger than the gray ones, or a corpse eater. Too many options to make a guess. Yet no beast remains in sight. You find the remains of clothes, furniture, odds and ends. Only one object seems to be of use. A basket-like fish trap made of vines and willow branches. If a large fish swims into it, it won't be able to get out on its own. It's quite large, but I can fit it on my saddle. Okay. I have a fish trap. You feel a slight aching in your stomach. Where do you want to go? I'm nervous about going further into the village. I'm gonna inspect the pasture. You don't find a single sign of the livestock that lived here in the past. Any bones, horns, antlers, or dung have already been devoured by the wilderness. The pasture ends at the river. On the opposite bank, the meadow turns into a thick forest, impenetrable for a rider. What are the chances that a herd of defenseless animals could get there and survive? The breach in the southern fence wasn't made by some brute force. You find axe cuts in the spot that were ultimately broken away. After all these years, there are no tracks you could follow. Okay, I gotta be careful of my time. Just seeing how long... Okay, it takes 45 minutes to get there from where I am. So we gotta make sure there's at least 45 minutes left to get back there so we can sleep at night. Okay. So this would be the southeast part. When ads start, I will pause and we'll wait until the ad finishes before we continue our adventure. We've got about like a minute and a half before the ad starts. Let's just inspect all of this outer area first before we move further in, just in case. You're surrounded by what looks like a field plowed in late autumn, disturbed by hundreds of rains and snowfalls. There's a few clumps of grass and wheat, but a place like this one, abandoned for years, should already have turned itself into a green lay. A barren field? Maybe it was overused, but you would still expect the weeds to sprout. A curse? The path leading west from here ends at the edge of the field, shifting into a meadow, then a forest. In the north, you see a path leading around the palisade. You cast a spell here. I use my amulets to sense if there's Numa buried in this place. If it's cursed, that would be good to know. You unpack the wooden spheres, pleasantly smooth and light. The entire set fits in the palm of your hand. You place them in various spots, marking their positions by sticking a branch in the soil. All you could do now is wait, so you brush Sen for a bit and make sure the saddle doesn't bother it. When you return to gather your amulets, all of them are much warmer than your skin. The entire field is corrupted. Though seeing how there are already some plants growing from it, the spell is fading away. The curse is most likely as old as the last harvest. So somebody cursed this village's field. The closer you are to the village and the longer you stay around, the sicker you feel. The taste of gastric juices hits your mouth. Your forehead hurts. You start to stumble. Sen, worried by the sight, pokes your head with its nose. Huh. That's concerning. Do we push through or walk away? What do you think, Kota? Should we push through or walk away? You don't know. We're already sick. If we push through, we might bump into something. You're right. You're right. We'll wait to make the decision until the ad is done. Because on one hand, we've got 9 hours before we gotta be back at the inn. And we haven't explored very much of the inner village. On the other hand, if we're already feeling sick to the point where we're stumbling, I'm worried that magically it might harm us. At nighttime, we can do a spell to restore our vitality, so if we get hurt that way, we could use some of this, but then we'd be only left with 1 Numa. But if it hurts us magically as well, I don't know. We do have pretty good armor. A hard decision. Maybe I'll put up a poll. I'll put up a poll while we're waiting for the ad to end. How do I do poll? Poll. Push through or walk away. There. It's a hard decision to make. Our ad is almost finished. Welcome back from Adland. We're gonna wait until this poll is done, see if it gets any votes. If not, I guess I will just decide. It's a hard decision though. I don't want to get us killed, but far, far. A woof. It's so funny, Kota. It's a hard decision because if we push through, who knows, maybe we'll be okay, but yeah. I agree. If we left, we would need to... We'd have to go back through here, and then if we were gonna go anywhere else, it'd take longer. We might... If we leave, we might just have to go back to the inn and rest a little bit, and then maybe come back? I don't know. Oh, it's tied. Uh-oh. A tie. Ooh. Pushing through is winning. Hmm. It looks like we might be pushing through the illness. Okay, we're pushing through. Oh, I lost all of my food. Oops. After another few steps, you return to your last meal. You spend a minute or so leaned forward, gathering your breath, then wipe your mouth. You feel better. I straighten up. Okay. Let's do the southeast. You find a small backyard. The ground is beaten. The grass grows only right next to the buildings. It would have been a fair spot for training dancers and fighters. The stakes of the palisade are covered with playful carvings left by children who were portraying monsters, weapons, and humans. The rubble has been pushed into the corners of the house. The furniture is broken, but you find something of use in one of the piles, a slightly rusty piece of steel. Once you pull it out, you realize it's a quarrel for a crossbow. It's still usable. It won't be difficult to find a use for it. Okay. What time do we have? 8:45. The main square? Okay. In every village, the main square is the fanciest area, meant to charm the travelers. Yet this is way more than you expected. The houses are as big as in Loumon, and the paved ground took a lot of work and materials. The walls, now charred and riddled with holes, are made of an expensive coated wattle. Wattle? The tiles for the roofs also had to be brought here from a different settlement. You peek inside the 3 smaller buildings, the rotting remains of their former splendor. The birds living in dozens of nests respond to your arrival with quite a commotion. You don't find even a single dragon bone, nor a tool or a piece of furniture left unbroken, or unrotten. You're surrounded by bad smells, dirt, animal droppings, and garbage. The well also stinks. It has no bucket, but you'd be afraid to use it anyway. Who knows how many birds have relieved themselves inside, or how many old rats have found their death while climbing up the walls. Suddenly, you hear some sounds coming from the largest building. Your stomach makes you let out a painful groan. Ooh. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Are we committed? How can I fight? Can I eat? I can't use my inventory. Let me save really quick. Here we go. We said to push through, so maybe we're committed. We're committed. You step cautiously toward the scent of urine and sweat. The flickering candlelight shows you broken furniture, yet no signs of burnt wood. You consider pulling the other door when a masculine voice proves that your presence is not unnoticed. I didn't want it to come to this, but stay where you are. Whatever you put inside, be it a shoe, a hand, or your damn thinker, it'll get a bolt. Okay. Okay, what should we do? Relax, or don't hurt me, I'm not looking for trouble. Let's try being friendly. Let's be friendly. I'm a Roadwarden, and you chose this place to visit? From all that there are? Even outlaws don't come here. He pauses, then goes on before you respond. Maybe you're telling the truth, so let's say this. My little ballista here is all pulled and ready. But you won't do anything stupid, right? No running, no jumping around, show your hands. The man's voice lacks confidence, and his accent is tricky for you. He could be from the distant south, but as long as you don't speak too quickly, you understand one another. You don't hear any other movements, breathing, voices. You lean your axe against the doorframe and make sure that your knife is well hidden. I walk inside. The dense smell of urine hits you with full force, while the tools and utensils are hard to distinguish from the rubbish. The route to the upper floor is blocked by the collapsed roof and loose wooden beams. Yeah, gross, huh? There are scraps of rusting iron and steel on the ground, detached from the now destroyed barrels. The scavenger is sitting on a blanket in front of the tent, pointing at the floor with his loaded crossbow. Not a short man, though a bit skinny. He's tanned, dark-haired, and has seen his share of struggles. There are long claw scars on his left cheek, and another one that would divide his eyebrow in half if it hadn't been consumed by a fire, just like the rest of his forehead. Ow! His clothes are untainted by vanity. He's barefoot, in a dirty linen shirt with rolled-up sleeves and simple pants that use a cord for a belt. His long beard and hair are untrimmed and tangled. I sit on the stairs with raised hands. I'm not a threat. You wipe the dust off the steps, but before you sit down, you hear the man's annoyed voice. Now don't get too homey. It's the only place here that's not just ashes and debris, and I'm not sharing it. You better ride ahead. I already piled up whatever hasn't rotten. The candle lights are dancing on his burnt face and arms. He moves his crossbow just enough to make sure he won't shoot you by accident. I saw your horse. Maybe you could help me, hmm? What are you looking for in this place? You don't sound like you're from the north. I'm looking for another Roadwarden, a man known as Asterion. Aye, I never met him. We'll surely heard his name many times. Bull. I vanished long before I got to the- oh, he vanished long before I got to the coast. At first, people were asking about him. Now they think he's dead. Listen. He scratches his thighs nervously. I'm hungry. So damn hungry. I can't hunt or fish with all the ape men around. Can you share anything, Roadster? I may be a drifter, but I won't beg if I had not lost my bags in the road. Oh, but I wouldn't beg if I hadn't lost my bags in the road. Take these cereals and crackers. With some water, you'll have a gruel. He lets out a relieved breath. Hey, I may even boil it. After a moment of hesitation, he grabs a cracker. Without ya, I would have had to run after birds with my ballista. I need to save the bolts for ape men. And because of those stinkers, I can't roast here, and raw meat makes me want to puke. Thank you. After a couple of solid bites, he puts your gifts in 2 wooden bowls. Now, Roadster, he says with a full mouth. If you have questions, ask. I'll say a lot to make you get me out of here. Where do you want to travel to now, and what will you give me for my help? How do you make goblins? How do you keep the goblins away? Have you searched the entire village? Have any idea what happened here? Okay, what do you want? Let me explain first, eh? I was in Howler's Dell, the closest village to the east and the north, and people there are nice, you know. Not like in Old Pagos. They're all boring and grimmer than a crow. But they cry coin for everything, and damn good coin. I left, wanted to look around the ruins, see if there's anything left, then moved to Pelt and hire the hunters to help me there. No luck, a bunch of griffs jumped my pack bard. I just bought it. He spat on the floor. Fast and nimble, but not brave enough to listen to me when all that screeching and scratching started. So it ran away with my bags. You fell on the ground and I pulled them here, but you see how it is. I won't travel around with a tent on my back. He taps the crossbow with his fingers. I need maybe a day more. Ugh, just a day, and then I'll have all the iron scrapped from the barrels so I can move forward. I can't take all my stuff alone, and without me around, the ape men are gonna break in and steal all my shit. I need to stay here, but since you have a horse, come back tomorrow and help me return to Howler's Dell. How about it? I just need to know that the road is safe. Safe as it can be, I mean. What do you want me to do? I need you to make sure there's no danger hiding on the road, from here to Howler's. Or rather, I know there is some danger, but as long as you can get there safe and safely return, I'm sure we can handle some roaming monsters. Hi Rick, welcome to stream. I'm doing good, how are you? What have you been up to? We're playing Roadwarden, a little text-based adventure. Hi. Okay, he theatrically rubs his hands together. This ballista has hit more beast skulls than I have fingers, and I've never lost a finger, Roadster. Only the toes. Maybe to prove it, he starts to count on his fingers. So, see if the road there is clear. Then come here tomorrow, we'll pack my stuff on your horse and move out. But don't come when it's close to evening. We're going to need 3 hours on our feet, and I won't push through the night. Even sleeping next to an 8-man tribe is safer. And don't make me wait for too long. I can wait for a couple of days if I find some food, but if you don't get back, I'll have to risk it no matter what. Why Howler's Dell? If you want to go south, we should travel to Pelt of the North. Got skate? Pretty alright, gonna skate and gotta skate and maybe chill in a kiddie pool. Nice. Have fun. I hope you have a good day. What is it? What are you doing? I don't no one see all that. Okay. Oh, I mean, I see a point, but I've never been there. Can they afford my iron? Do they have means to pay for it? I need coins to find a handy bunch that will walk south with me. I need a new staff and bolts. I know the village. It's a nice place and even has a smithy, of sorts. I had a chance to take a look, though. It's a large inn, a safe one. They seem to be rich and have enough hunters to guide you south. You cannot use iron to barter. Well, it's a shorter path, I guess. Fewer spots to get surrounded by corpsers. If you're sure it's the best option, fine. I'll trust a roadster's judgment. I don't work for free. Gotta make a got skate shirt now. Do it. I have ways to pay you, don't you worry. I can give you dragons, but I have to sell the iron first, so I'll need a bit of time, you see. 5 for a short escort would be plenty, I'd say. But if you want, I'll give you a secret jar of mine, a very fine mixture that scares 8-men away. Works on peddlers, too. When you ask if all this stench of urine is somehow related to this potion, he winks and chuckles. I'd also like to learn more about the villages you visited. He seems surprised. I mean, aye, sure. I don't have connections there, you know. Just my eyes. He starts to hum. You know. A longer pause. When you get to Howler's, you'll meet the mayor there, for sure. Tai. And whatever you do, don't ask her where she got her coins from, eh? She's rich. Stupid rich. But don't ask her how this happened. Trust me. He scratches his beard with a mournful look. Okay, it's a deal. I'll escort you. Why does the village make me sick? Me too, in the guts and the thinker. Gets easier with time, if you're patient. Must be the air, the smell of death. Death and ape-men piss. He pats his stomach while laughing. I was gonna I'm gonna escort him to the other place, not to Hallersdale. I've heard about bandits. Have you seen any nearby? Nah, I think they're in the north or east. I stuck to the western road and no shell bothered me. Sorry, can't help ya. Okay. Do you know what happened here? Well, I won't guess, but I saw many ruins. There's no treasure and skeletons here, so this place means as much as dirt. Someone was barking too loud, so the beasts broke through and made them quiet again. He clicks his tongue. And that's that. Talking about nature's fury brings bad luck, don't you know? Well, there's pee everywhere and the village smells like a whole corpse. I would be sick too. Valid. I just didn't know if there was like a magical reason, because like if the whole like field is cursed, like what else is happening around here? Are you sure there's no undead around? He nods. I've seen none. People say it's been less than 10 years since the herds came here, but I don't know if anyone bothered with raising the pyres. If not, the dead are all roaming in the forests now. He clicks his tongue with frustration. Maybe that there's a walker somewhere under the debris, waiting to break through like a dragon in an egg. He looks straight at you. Aye, you better not dig. Okay, I'm gonna leave. I just assumed monsters messed up this village, but you could be right. Yeah, I'm very curious about the field around here and like why that happened to it. There's still more to explore. Let's inspect the palisade. The tracks of human footwear and many, many more ape footprints cover the path formed around the palisade's breach. As far as you can tell, freshest footprints lead to the village. The wooden stakes spread on the ground are rotten, covered in mushrooms, small flowers, insects, and worms. A good source of animal or goblin food, though you'd expect them to also hunt for the birds and eggs. The meadow in the west turns into a forest quickly. The grasses in the north surround dozens of tree stumps, already covered with moss and fungi. Going south, you'll reach a large field, though you don't see any crops. Right there. Okay, I shouldn't enter the forest. Okay. Northeast. The debris was partially moved outside of the destroyed houses, but you find nothing of value. The table, cupboards, shelves, and bits and pieces were carefully ransacked. The wildly growing vegetables and herbs are the only remnants of the abandoned gardens. You spot fresh human footprints at the entrance to the latrine, most of which lead to and from the center of the village. That's our guy, I'm assuming. You notice a set of simple tools leaned against a pile of rubble, a wooden spade and a shovel, a pointed stick, a hoe with a bone head, a stone axe. All of them are too old and too awkward to bother with transporting them around, but you'll know where to find them if you need them in the future. Okay, we're gonna leave. It's making us sick again. Maybe better to leave or at least stay away from the village for the rest of the day. Inspect the clearing in the west. The meadow is lush and colorful, and so dense it's unsafe for a rider. For a couple of minutes, you lead Sen with a rope, avoiding the potential disaster in case of a hoof falling into an animal den. Being forced to travel around the palisade every time you get here is going to be a pain. Most of the tree trunks look similar and have a comparable size. They were most likely planted with the sole purpose of being cut down and used by the locals. Though cutting so many trees at once, that alone could provoke the wrath of the herds. Such a process should be spread across a couple of seasons, and you can't be sure that was the case. In the west and north of the clearing turns into a wild forest. In the east, you see a road leading north. I leave the clearing. Go to the road leading north. You're at the closed northern gate. The neglected road is partially overgrown. You hear a river in the east, separated by the lush meadow filled with crickets and rodents. Take a closer look at the gate. As you're pulled, it doesn't move an inch. Someone has spread dirt and rocks both underneath it and around it, seemingly to keep the planks stuck in the ground. Okay, so the only way into the village is from down here. So to get that place, we're gonna have to come back tomorrow. Let's go back here. Okay. Get off my horse and enter the inn. Actually, wait. We can wait. Wait until afternoon. Until evening, actually. Enter the inn. Can I please? Can I sleep here? Oh, sleep. Okay, eat a food ration. Okay, we're gonna rent. We have the money. We're gonna rent a room. You hear a thunderous roar. You rise to your feet and rub the sleep from your eyes. The doors are opening. People are shouting orders and words of warning. As you open the window, you see what's behind the commotion. Something is on the other side of the wall, trying to get through, and the guards are fighting it off with their torches, spears, and crossbows. Thanks to their light, you see the large furry paws placed on the top of the wall walk. As far as you can tell, the beast is but a single leap away from getting inside. Not their first night, they know what they're doing, or I need to help them. I'm gonna help them. I'm not gonna just, like, leave them. You look for your gambeson and blade, still a bit foggy in your thoughts, and once you find them, you struggle to get inside the jacket. As your habits kick in, you see the innkeeper right in front of you, holding a candle. You're a guest. Stay here, he says, without a shadow of hesitation. My team has no time to worry about outsiders. Just after his words, you hear cheerful laughter from the wall. Judging by the way they point their fingers and lower their weapons, the beast is fleeing. Well, I shouldn't expect people will need my help all the time. Okay, I'm glad they could handle it. I just didn't want to leave them. Okay. We're not gonna ask about leftovers yet. We're gonna go back to the other village. And then to the abandoned village, and then bring the guy here. Okay, the small room is quiet and far away from unwanted eyes. You take a calm bath, rest on a soft mattress, look through the window, and enjoy the minutes of safety. In the morning, you find a stool with a large wooden plate bearing an aromatic breakfast, a bowl of oatmeal based on ibex milk, with berries, nuts, and honey. Downstairs, the innkeeper is putting firewood into the stove. He asks if you need anything. I'm gonna go outside. Okay, the armorer isn't around. Let's go back. I want to see the northwest part. The colorful grass covers the entire fenced pasture. The large stone placed in the middle suggests it could be a playground for ibexes, or maybe it's just an old garden. You see a couple of small sheds, a latrine, and a single building to the south, completely burnt down. All of these places were cleaned out by scavengers. Sen doesn't want to approach the large ruins in the north. The terrible stench of feces and rotting food scares you off as well. The paths are covered with goblin footprints. It's daytime, so the pack should be asleep. If the beasts were active, they would try to scare you off or to hunt down your mount. This is their territory, and once they wake up, you will face a furious enemy. Okay, so this area is where the goblins are. I'm gonna look around the northern gate. The paths here have almost been reclaimed by grasses. To your east and west, you see shadowy alleys behind damaged buildings. Let's open the gate. We have time. Like the tools and get to work. Okay. You take off your cloak and put away your bags and satchels. while Sen grazes gladly in the meadow. After looking at the pile of dirt, you let out a sigh. You start with the larger rocks, removing the ground around them and pushing them into a single pile. Then you do the same on the other side. The simple shovel and pitchfork help you a lot, and once you get used to them, the work goes smoothly. You're done before you get too tired. From now on, passing through this place will take you less time. Okay, I head to the river. You see a quenching family of boars, some of them brown, some black. You consider turning back, but they pay you little attention. After a couple of grunts, they run north. The river is not too wide, yet unusually deep, with banks altered by the locals for decades, if not centuries. Water is cold and clean, yet filled with long plants growing from the bottom. You would rather avoid jumping inside or drinking from it, but you're tempted to at least wash your face, neck, and hands. Dozens, if not hundreds, of small fish are looking for tasty leaves, but also try to avoid their predators. A dance of life, completely unaware of your presence. You suddenly realize there's something else buried among the kelp. A rusty sickle sticking out of the ground. A couple of stone axes and hoes. The wooden handles on a large wagon are covered with moss, but you recognize their shapes. Why would someone drop them here? On the opposite bank, the meadow turns into a thick forest, impenetrable for a rider. I turn back. I'll spend some time setting up a fish trap. You place the basket on the ground, then grab a bowl and start digging, looking for a few larger worms. You bait the stick and push it inside the basket, locking it between the sides. Then cover the entrance with a lid. Tying it together takes you a few good moments, but will be easier later on. You attach the entire trap to a bush and push it into the stream, far enough that it sinks entirely. Who knows how long it will take before something large enough swims inside. Still, it would be better to not wait for too long, otherwise the prey may die of hunger. Why are our stomach hurting again? Dancing. Okay, I can inspect the fish trap tomorrow or later. Okay, we'll probably come back through here to go north at some point. Go to the scavengers camp. The entrance to the scavenger's hideout is open. You see scraps of metal organized in piles, while the old furniture has been dismantled into loose planks and pushed into corners. Hey, Roadster. The man looks tired and his beard is sticky, but he smiles at you. If you're ready, I'll start packing the tent. If you don't want to wait, start putting the iron on your mount. It will be quicker. Just say the word and we can leave. Have you searched the entire village? No hidden treasures left? You came to the wrong place. Time, moisture, and the damn boars devoured all the loot. I've been here for a couple of days now, and all that's left is this iron I carry here. I was planning to get back here with some hired muscle and clear the collapsed buildings, but I doubt it's worth the time and risk. Thank you, Exia, for watering your tree. And a big stretch. Let me get up and stretch. Big stretch. There we go. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Let's take him to the Pillars of the North. The scavenger keeps asking you to watch out for beasts and wraps the sharper scraps of iron in his cape. Folding the tent and putting it on your horse takes a while, and neither of you can sit down on the large pile of sacks and bundles. There's a long walk ahead of you, but for Sen it won't be much of a burden. Once you clear the room, you walk away. At first you hear only the birds and horseshoes, then the man starts to whisper. Faster, eh? The apes are looking at us. You don't see any proof of that. Nothing we can do about it. I lead us to the southern gate. You move forward, slowed down by having to secure the bundles on Sen's back and carry your own bags. After half an hour, the man asks for a break. Even though you shared your food with him, he's not fully recovered from days of hunger. But the farther away you get from the ruins, the more cheerful and talkative he gets. Mostly speaking about what he needs to buy, and how much he hated the damn place. Then the beasts show up. Okay, I think we're about as healthy as we can be for this fight. This is our first combat. A loud bunch of griffins blocks the road near a pond. For you, their colorful furs and feathers don't look much different than the pack you faced in the valley days ago. There's still some distance between you and them, but it could be crossed in less than a minute. There's maybe 20 beasts in sight, and this time they pay you much more attention. They spread their wings and start to screech, some making a few leaps forward. Your mount is too overloaded for you to turn away and get out of their range. Better to hold our ground, groans the scavenger, preparing his crossbow and dagger. Okay. Stay on the defensive, but keep an eye on the horse. Quite the opposite, we should charge at them yelling and swinging our weapons. Let's startle them. Well, the last flock went away because we startled them. Would this work the same? Let's focus on killing one of them as quickly as we can. Maybe the others will flee. I don't know about charging. We got a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's true. I'm worried about Sen. Let's stay on the defensive, but keep an eye on the horse. I don't have a crossbow. He nods and blocks the path between the beasts and your mount, then raises his loaded weapon, moving his aim between the approaching creatures. Okay, stay close to the scavenger, making sure nothing jumps on our backs. Keep a bit of distance. I think we should stay close. He has the crossbow. So we'll stay close and be melee. The man's arrow hits and stops one of the creatures, but it doesn't buy you much time. He realizes your plan and also gets closer to you. The semicircle of beaks and talons is hardly organized. One of the creatures simply leaps at you and the others follow. For the next minute, you slice and dice whatever you can hit, filling the air with screeches and feathers. The sheer number of opponents overwhelms you more than once, and it's difficult to keep pushing them away with your free hand. Judging by the painful shouts, the scavenger is struggling, but is still alive. Finally, it all ends, though not because of a lack of opponents. The two creatures you butchered are on the ground, but the others, some of them hurt, have enough strength to run away. Their will is broken, yet the pack will go on, at least for some time. Your fine gambeson keeps you in one piece, and is still in decent shape. The man spits on the ground. May apes and ibex bang this place day after day. He leans forward, taking a few deep breaths, then looks at you. Roadster, we're a fine team, you and I. Let me draw my ballista and we can move forward. I just smile and try to ease Sen's thoughts. It's better to keep moving. We made it! Thank goodness, right? Ooh. The man's sleeve and stomach are soaked with blood, but he tells you to ignore it. Once you get close to Pelt, he whistles enthusiastically. You weren't kidding, eh? What a fortress. The guards open the gate and take care of the scavenger's bundles, which Sen welcomes with a nicker. Hell yeah. Koto, you're so funny. The man introduces himself quickly and asks to be brought some water from the well. Thank you, Roadster. I need to ask the innkeep if he has any soap. I'm not gonna chop off my damn arm. He clicks with his tongue. But like I told you, if you want coins, you have to come back tomorrow when my pouch gets heavier. But I can and would prefer to give you the potion that repels ape men instead. It's useful, but not as much in the south as it is here in the woods. How many coins do we have? We have 4 coins. 4 dragon bones. We just take the jar. I kind of feel bad if I take his money. I'll just take the jar. He's not gonna need it anymore. Huh, I'm glad. He unpacks a large jar made of clay. I'm not gonna lie, Roadster. It's pure troll urine. Don't ask me how I got it, eh? If you want to scare off some ape men, use it before they see you. Trolls eat them all the time, so they stay away for as long as they can. You imagine that you can feel warmth from the jar. Well, I won't miss it. I'll be here for at least a couple days. You'll find me around if you need me. After all my recent camping, I'm gonna spend a few hours kissing this nice, strong wall. He starts to laugh and walks away, waving goodbye. I pack the jar and make sure it won't spill in my bag. You got troll urine? You return to the courtyard. You hear the clinking of tools coming from the armorer's workshop. Okay. I think this might be a good spot to call it for today. We've made quite a bit of progress, I feel. We've talked to the soldiers in Tulia's camp. We've gotten some info about what's happening, like, up this way and this way, so we have a couple directions we can go. And then, yeah, we have a nice little safe area that we can come back to and get, food and stuff and sleep as we need. So I'd say this is a pretty good spot to call it. Hi, Blue Senpai. Oh, thank you for the resubscribe. You're so sweet to me. I like games like these. They make you think about your actions. Yeah, I love a good text-based adventure, or like any kind of game with like the butterfly effect. Like Until Dawn was fun. I like I haven't played that game in years. I should play it on stream at some point. Yeah, I love stuff where you really do have to think. Let's find somebody to raid. Let's see. Who's online right now? Oh, Kiku is. We're gonna raid Kiku. Kiku is playing Hollow Knight Silksong. If you stopped by while I was live, thank you for stopping by and spending time with me. If you're watching this VOD's video in the future, thank you for watching this video. The support means a lot to me regardless of whether it's live or not. Thanks for the stream. Nice meeting you. It's nice meeting you too, Gota. It's so cool. Thank you for coming by. Blue Senpai. Too much thinking makes my brain go ouchie. Oh no, sweet senpai. Don't worry. I'll do the thinking. You just chill. We're gonna raid Kiku, and I will take us to our ending screen. Look out tomorrow. We are back in Little Witch in the Woods playing the new update. Because that didn't work out last week, so we're gonna start the new update tomorrow. So look forward to that. Thank you for watching. We'll raid out. Please show Kiku all of your love and support. They're really cool. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.